Welcome, everybody. We're going to start right up.
Oh, Jody's got a dog over there too.
Jody, you have a dog too?
Dog cam.
Let's do a dog night.
But we don't have a dog.
It's okay.
Josh can bark.
All right. That's great. Welcome to our Monday night Team Limitless call. I am Joshua Dunsky and Lisa Dunsky, and we're gonna do some training tonight, which has been very personal to us, and you'll find out why in a few minutes. And then I'm going to go over a document which we keep going back to, but I personally think this document makes us and makes you the most amount of money than any other thing that we train on. And we're going to talk about that. And you'll find that we keep going back to the basics because we spent so long making things complicated, and it's painful when it's complicated. Things go slowly when it's complicated. This business is about duplication. So we're going to show you a strategy to accelerate your business if you're not already using it. Many of you are, and you've seen the benefits from it. And then we're going to go over to this document that we keep coming back to, and I'll tell you why also. But I want to start off with any wins, accomplishments, comments, positive things that happened in our business tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, this week. We'll start off tonight with that.
Jennifer Bennett, Crystal Exec Reset.
Oh, boy. That's right. Jennifer, Gabby Bennett did it again. Crystal Executive on the reset.
Woo!
Great job, Jen. Excellent, excellent. So anybody, you can just unmic. Eliza, go right ahead.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Bethany Harrington, who advanced to consultant this week. She is one of Cliff's personally enrolled and good friends, and she just enrolled one of her friends and her husband, and she is just really super excited. This was her first 30 days, so she's already hit consultant, so we're really excited for her.
Great
Yay.
job. Congratulations.
Awesome.
That's a big, big deal.
And congrats, Cliff.
Yeah. Renee, go right ahead.
You're muted.
Okay. I just finished my first Healthy Mind and Body today.
Woo! That's
And
awesome.
that's with you right away.
Awesome.
So awesome.
Congratulations. So important. So important. Who else?
Jody had something.
Hey, Jode. Nope.
No.
She had a fly. Was there a fly around you? Awesome. Anybody else? Any other wins or comments, compliments?
Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, all you mamas.
Happy Mom's Day.
Esthetogenics mamas.
All right. All right. So let's get rolling.
Yeah.
So let me give you a little background on this. Lisa and I have been in the business for 6 years, and I would say seriously building maybe 4 years. And we heard about a strategy when we first came on board that we didn't implement. And we heard it from a very powerful, successful business builder that you probably all know, Herb Cepeda, who explained a strategy to us that we didn't poo-poo it, but we didn't implement it. We just knew there was many different strategies to building. Lisa and I were building both of our centers. And so typically when a husband and wife, partner comes on board, spouse, whenever someone comes on board in twos, Isogenics promotes having two accounts. So we have Josh Dunsky, Lisa Dunsky, number one center, Josh Dunsky, Lisa Dunsky, number two center. And so we think of it as our number one, number two center, not Joshua up here, not Lisa down here. They're both our centers. And that's a concept that we talk about a lot with new people coming on board because they think, okay, Linda's going to be at the top and her husband, Doug, is down here. And Doug's saying, well, if I'm enrolling people, why am I going to put them up there? So the idea is we want them to understand it's Linda and Doug 1, Linda and Doug 2, right? So the couples have both centers. And that's really important because if you're working this together and you're working this to generate money, my belief is you want to put both your efforts into one center and then both your efforts into two centers, okay? If you want to go fast and rank advance faster. We didn't do that. We didn't know any better. And it's not wrong. Some people may say build both centers and you can do that. This isn't right or wrong. This is just what we found to be very true. And I think most people that are building kind of quickly will tell you focus on one center both build that one center, and then when you're ready, build the next center. So everybody knows about building back and forth, right, left, right, left. We're gonna show you right now a concept that we implemented probably 2 years ago that pulled us out of this 2-star sandbox. You hear about this sandbox where people get stuck at 2-star for a while, and it happens to a lot of people, not everybody, for various reasons. And we were stuck at 2-star for 2 years. And when we implemented this strategy, it launched us out of 2-star into 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star. So my recommendation is that you do this. You don't have to do it, but I think anybody who's implementing this will tell you it's night and day. So let's get into this. I'm going to share my screen, and then I really want to. We're going to keep it kind of tight tonight, high and tight, and I want to open the floor up so we can ask questions and make sure everybody understands this, because there's a few different aspects to it. So let me share my screen, and again, going back to basics, that's where people see their business change, because it is pretty basic. It is very simple, not easy all the time, but simple. So we're going to do it this way. So here's the initial part of the compensation plan. What's up?
Close your little windows to just see one person. So on the recording, it doesn't cover
Okay.
up the slide.
All right. So
No,
hang tight.
just right here. Just hit the one.
Okay. All right. So here we go. There's no doubt that in this industry, I love talking to other network marketers and finding out about compensation plans. And I am not an expert at it, but I know a lot about different compensation plans. And I'll tell you, I've never seen one that comes even close to what we have. We have the most incredible, unlimited income potential out there. A lot of them will tell you that. They'll say that. And Lisa knows. And we look at these compensation plans, and everything looks okay. It looks okay, and then boom, and you see something that's a hybrid type of what we have. There are all these restrictions, etc. We have something that is gold. It is absolute gold. So real quick, for those of you that are new on here, and again, we have people that have been on longer than us that don't understand what I'm going to show you, and people that are brand new that could probably school us all. So there's no stupid question. We all have to understand these basics, especially, how great is it when you enroll somebody in their first week, they enroll 4 people, and it just happened to us. And then a couple weeks before that, people before they got their box enrolled 3 people, made it over $1,000. So that's crazy. Why? Because we keep talking about the basic stuff, and that's what you have to share with your new person. Keep it simple and show them the basics. So BV is business volume. PV is your personal volume, okay? Active status in Isagenix means that you're ordering a minimum of 100 PV. Your personal volume is a minimum of 100 points. Every product has a number attached to it, points attached to it. You have to order at least 100 points every 30 days to be in active status. The minimum requirements are very minimum. You're talking, 2 bottles of product B? You're talking a couple shakes and maybe a cleanse. I mean, it's very minimum. Most people order way more than that. There are 6 ranks in Isagenix. 6 ranks. Now we all start off as customers, then we get to associate, consultant, manager, director, and executive. Executive is the highest rank in Isagenix, and then there are stars and levels in executive. We're going to keep it real simple tonight, real mainstream, so everybody understands this and can reproduce this. So you start off as a customer, okay? You're using the products, you're happy. You learned a little bit about how to make a few extra bucks. So you invited your mother-in-law and your friend, and your sponsor says, listen, you want to capitalize on this? Let's make you an associate. So how do we make you an associate? How to become an associate is you go into your back office, you have your new person click on become an associate. It couldn't get any more simple than this. Obviously, show them the back office, walk them through this. Number 2, they input their social security number and their birth date. And then number 3, they watch a 3-minute video. Boom, they're now an associate, right? How great is that? Awesome. So now they're an associate. And you say, Linda, you mentioned that you want to make some money. Let's get you to consultant. You guys, Eliza just talked about, was it Bethany? I think she said, that became a consultant. That's huge. Every win, every milestone is huge. That's a big deal. So how do you become a consultant? You personally sponsor 1 person on your right and 1 person on your left. That's it. And they're actively, consuming, their PV is 100 points. Okay, that's the minimum again. And you become a consultant. And right now, they've doubled the bonus. So instead of a $50 rank advancement bonus, they're going to give you $100, right? And what's that? That's good through when?
Through the 27th
Through the 27th. So let's get
of this month
through
next Sunday.
Through May 27th, which is next Sunday. Isagenix is doubling the rank advancement bonus for consultants, $100. Okay, so there it is. You enrolled Linda on the left and Bob on the right. They're both at 100. You become a consultant. Awesome. Now I want to focus on something. So now we're looking in the back office. You look in your back office, and placement is very important for the strategy that we're going to teach tonight. We all have a left side. We all have a right side. And as you can see at the top of our box here, there's an arrow. That arrow is crucial, crucial, crucial. That's going to help you understand which side your team leg is and which side your pay leg is. We're going to talk about this right now. So when the arrow is going up to the right, that means your team is going up to the right, which means your left leg is the team leg. So just draw a straight line from your left side all the way up through that arrow, and now you know that your team leg is your left leg. So if that arrow was going up to the left, your team leg would be your right leg. Pretty simple, right? I can only see Renee on here. So Renee, got it? All right, good. I hope everybody else is shaking their heads because I can't see you. But we'll talk about this in a few minutes. So team leg is your left leg. And now what some people call your minor leg or your weak leg. We don't say weak leg because it's not. It's a different type of leg. It's called a pay leg. Okay. And so we have a team leg and pay leg. So what does it look like? Why is this your team leg? Because again, your upline is going up to the right. So down to the left is your team leg. So in Isagenix, we talk about building left, right, left, right. When you accumulate 900 points, okay? Now I'm talking about this is the residual aspect. This isn't the upfront money. This isn't the PIBs. This isn't pool money. This is the residual money. This concept will make you more money than anything else in this business, is the residual aspect of our income. When you accumulate 900 points globally, and that's broken down by 600 points on one side and 300 on the other, it doesn't matter which side. You could have 300 on the left and 600 on the other. When you accumulate 900 points, you cycle. So when we talk about building, Josh is going to enroll someone on my left, and I'm going to sponsor and enroll someone on my right, okay? And then I'm going to keep going, right, left, right, left, right, left. And that's awesome. And every time you accumulate 600 points on one side and 300 points, you cycle. And the idea is not just to cycle once or once a week or twice a week. We want to start cycling once a day, twice a day. You go to sleep, you wake up, you have 7 more cycles in your business. Because every time you hear the word cycle, that's $54. Okay? So that's the basic building system of Isagenix, which is awesome. But here comes a strategy. Okay? And the strategy is this.
Oh, yeah. Go back real quick. Your own personal volume counts toward your cycles too, as long as you're on that 29-day.
Okay.
Just highlight that.
Okay. So your personal volume, okay, counts towards a cycle. So that's why when we set someone up on auto ship, you'll see us say, set it for 29 days. If you set your auto ship and your new people's auto ship for 29 days, you make money on your order. Basically, that volume stays in your business, goes to your pay leg, okay, which is very, very important. If it's set for 30 days or 31 days over, that's okay too, but Isagenix takes that.
First 100.
Right, they take the first 100, which is fine. Listen, for everything they do for us, they can have it, but we want to maximize this. So set it for $29, and it goes into your business. So you're getting paid to eat on the first 100, which is amazing, and the rest of it. Okay, so this is the basic strategy for building this business: left, right, left, right. Or this is the strategy that we were taught a while back by Herb Cepeda, and then recently by Susan Miller a couple of years ago, that made a massive difference in our business. It's called Drive the Line. And what that means is when we first start up, and don't worry if you haven't done this, that's okay. We started halfway through. But when you can teach this to the brand new person, they will rocket to director, maximize the pools, and I'll show you all that. That's what we're talking about tonight. So you enroll, you become an associate, and now what you want to do is we talk about an anchor. You want to take your husband, your wife, your spouse, your mother, your father, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your dog, doesn't matter. You want to anchor a family member, someone close to you, on your pay leg. Remember, My left leg here is my team leg. My inside, or my right leg in this scenario, is my pay leg, because notice the arrow going up to the right. Okay? So we anchor our spouse on the inside, and then we start building with all of the enrollments and the contacts and the prospects with the referral system in this business, basically. Whether they want to lose weight, make money, or, both, okay? Or they're tired or healthy aging, whatever it is. So the team leg is on the left side, the pay leg is on the inside, and we basically start to do this. We start enrolling all the way down one leg. And I'll tell you why in a second, but this is the strategy. You only enroll your spouse, your partner, your family member on the inside. That's the anchor. And you want to enroll all the way down until you hit director. And director means 6 consultants. You've personally made 6 consultants. They do not have to be on your right side. The only time you need to have specific numbers on your right and left side is when you hit executive. Executive means you've enrolled at least 5 consultants on your left leg and 5 consultants on your right leg. But we're not at executive yet. We're getting to director.
Renee just asked, can your anchor leg be on the left? Yes, whatever your team leg is, it can be left or right, and then your inside leg is just the opposite of the team. Some people, your team leg is left, some people it's right. So this is just for the example.
Yep, exactly. Can you see everybody? Make sure everybody understands.
Yeah, but can you move that window down over here so it's not covered?
I have stuff coming in here, though.
No. Scoot this one, because that covers up. No, you don't need to undo it. Scoot it right over here.
Hold on. It's not. I have stuff on that. That's why I didn't want to.
No,
That's all right.
well, it's covering it. Because the recording is going to.
Yep. All right. Hold on. Move this up here. Okay. All right. So, correct. So, Renee, you got that. So, if the other side was your pay leg. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. And we're going to go all the way down.
Yes, Anna.
All right. So, just this question's coming up in there. We'll go over questions and we'll open it up in a second. So we got 6 consultants down on the left side on your team leg and just your anchor on that inside leg. And the reason is you get to director on that left leg. Remember, if you're teaching your people to do this, imagine all of them, they're doing the same thing. So what you see here is just the people that you're enrolling. But remember, take this first. I'm going to take off here so you can see my arrow. See this first consultant up here? They're enrolling people too. And they're putting people all in between these people that you're putting in between your people. They're putting them in between all these other people's enrollments. This is not just your people. So I'm just showing you a small little smidget of your enrollments. But remember, everybody else enrollments, they're all driving the line. And what happens is, I don't know if you can see me or not, but what happens is your team leg explodes. That's why it's not just on your efforts. So this is where the cycles really kick up, but we're purposely not letting you cycle. I know some of you are thinking, well, wait a second, we're not cycling out. That's exactly the point. So the difference in this scenario is we always say, it's like building a house on sand or building a house on solid footings with a solid foundation. So if you can hold off a few weeks to a month or so and not cycle right away, it depends on how long it takes to get director. You can do it in 2 weeks. You can do it 3 weeks. What you're going to find is that your business is going to light up and take off like a rocket ship. So now,
also something to note is that while you're not chasing cycles right now, you are still getting those product introduction bonuses, which are quite frankly more than a cycle. And so instead of getting the small $54 checks, you're holding out for the big checks.
Right. So we get to director. Why is this important? You're now in the director pool. There's a lot of money in the pool. The shares are typically over $100 a share, and they fluctuate depending on how many people are in the pool. You can maximize $7,500 in this pool. That's a lot of money, and you only have 3 months to do it. The way they distribute shares is by your benchmark. So let me explain this. We're purposely not letting you cycle, or we purposely don't want to cycle until you get to director. Now, all that volume is still staying in that team leg. But notice we're not building the pay leg now, okay? They give you shares according to your benchmark. What that means is if you go into the director pool and now you start building the other side, because that's what happens. Now, once you hit director, we start building your pay leg. So you're going to start to cycle. But when you go into the director pool and your bench, your cycles are 0, for every cycle over your benchmark, that's a share. So if I hit the director pool at 0 cycles, and now all of a sudden I cycle because I'm building my pay leg, if I have 1 cycle that week, I get 1 share in the pool. If I get up to 3 cycles, I have 3 cycles in the pool. That's huge. That's why you don't want to be cycling and have your cycles be an average around 5 or 6 when you hit the pool, because you're only getting shares according to the growth of your benchmark. So if I hit the director pool at 5 cycles a week, I'm going to get 1 share if my next week is 6 cycles. I'm going to get 2 shares if I'm at 7 cycles. But what if I'm at 4 cycles or 5 cycles? Nothing, right? So that's why we talk about driving the line. Get to director as fast as you can on one leg. Get there at 0 cycles, and then blow it out of the water and start pounding on your your pay leg. And if you notice here, you're going to start building all the way to executive on that pay leg. You have 3 months in the director pool. So if it takes you longer than that to get to executive, that's fine. Some people say, I want to stay in the pool a little longer. Maybe I could hit director or executive with 2 more weeks in the director pool, and they want to stay there. That's fine. That's individual, and there's reasons. You really want to look at someone's business, whether they want to stay in the pool or not. But there's $7,500 on the table. That's huge, and there are many people that have maxed out that pool because of this strategy. So I'll check in with everybody in a second. The other part about this is when you switch over, okay? When you switch over to your pay leg, remember, your team's not switching over when you are. That means they're still driving that line down that team leg. That means all of your people are still supported. That means all the people you just put in there are having massive amounts of BV thrown into their team leg. So they're growing faster and faster, bigger and bigger than just putting someone on the right, someone on the left, someone on the right. Do you understand? So when you switch, the next person behind you that you brought in, and your person is not switching until they hit director. So everyone they enroll is going to expand that leg. Everyone they enroll is going to expand that leg. It's a bomb. It's a bomb, literally, that just builds and builds and builds. And when they switch over, boom, they shoot off. And the idea is to create heavy legs. That's really the whole concept behind this. It's basically, you don't want to even out your legs. A lot of people say, oh, my leg's not even. Good. You don't want it to be. You want a heavy, heavy leg. So then we drive that pay leg down to executive, and then we keep going, and we like to see 30,000 BV coming out up that leg a week before we switch over. So you always want a heavy leg, and then when you switch over, it's only 300 points. So I'm going to stop this right here. Stop share, and I want to see everybody. And now, before we go to the next part, I want to open up the call. I want to make sure we address everybody's questions and concerns. And if you don't get it, don't feel bad. I guarantee you there's many other people that don't get it yet, but let's talk about it. So just unmute yourself or raise your hand or whatever you want to do about this here. The other thing is that I want you to remember too, it's leaving someone out on an island. So remember, if you're bringing someone on board, we never know who is going to turn into a business builder. Most people start this as customers. So if you think, oh, I'm going to put Jamie on my pay leg right now because she's only a customer, don't think like that, because she could be a superstar, and then you're building that other side. She's by herself on this island, no support, no BV coming up that side. If you put everybody, customers, associates, business builders, whatever they are, all together, let them decide, but everybody's being supported. And then when you look in their account after 3 months and you say, Tom, I know you said you don't want anything to do with the business, but you have 28,000 points sitting on your left leg. You have money on the table. You have some other money on the other side. Can I show you what that means? I mean, this company wants to give you coupons or cash for just being a loyal customer. I'd love to show that to you if you're interested. We've never had someone say no to that. So there's a support function of that drive the line, but also make you as much money and grow a strong foundation for your business. And then it takes off. So let's
just a note on that. If you have not used this placement strategy to begin with, you did not do it wrong. This is just a strategy. And what Josh is talking about, someone being on an island, with no support, it's no BV support, but as leaders, we support both legs no matter what. But that's why we like to recommend the spouse or the boyfriend or the girlfriend on that inside leg, because you can mistreat your spouse, your boyfriend, or just kidding. But that's that strategy, behind that. But if you've done left, right up until now, it's not a big deal. You just start teaching all your people how to do the drive the line. They now build their little heavy legs, and everybody gets that support, and you absolutely provide that leadership support to the people that are not on the leg that you're currently building.
Yeah, absolutely. And how you choose. So if you haven't been doing this is what happened to us. Go for the heavy leg. Take your heavy leg and make it heavier. Don't worry about cycling. And if you haven't done it, you're going to have some people, some business builders on one side. You're going to have some business builders on the other side. You got to make an executive decision to go, but don't bounce back and forth. It's you might as well not implement any strategy if you're going to bounce. So if you can start off in the beginning like this, that's why I share this with your new people that are into the business and say, listen, this is a strategy we've learned and it works. It's proven itself. If you're in the middle of your game right now and you've been in a year or two, however long, choose your heavy leg and run with it. If you don't know how to choose, call up your sponsor, call us up, and we'll show you some highlights to look for to help make a decision. But do not bounce back and forth if you're going to implement this. Questions from Monique? You have questions? Saw some question marks on there.
Josh, I have a question. So if so this is something that we learned after I started, and so Josh, Adam is actually on my team leg and not on my pay leg, so he's not my anchor. Is there any way to? It is what it is, right? So, but is there any way to sort of fix that?
So go back and say the first part again. Who's on the other side? Your pay leg? Your husband?
Yes. So Adam's on my team leg where he should have been on my pay leg, right?
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
It is what it is. No, it is what it is. And you're just going to – it's because it ended up like that, he's maximizing on the team leg points. So there's nothing to do as long as you have a consultant on that inside leg, or that pay leg, you're good. So
Okay.
you have a consultant in there,
Right?
an anchor. You probably have someone that's a family member or someone who's a loyal customer who likes the products, who's ordering 100 BV. But if you don't have anybody, if you don't have a family member or a spouse, you want to put someone in there, and then you just kind of have to decide.
Okay.
Great question. Same situation.
Yeah, we started out like that too. I used to be on Josh's heavy leg, and now we built the heavy leg, and now I'm on the lighter leg.
Yeah, just you want to keep that side alive, so you just look for someone else if it's already there. Awesome. Good questions. Anybody else? Oh, Ryan is watching. Oh, okay, Money. All right, can you anchor?
Jen.
Go
ahead, Jen.
So Jason and I have asked you guys this before, but it may be helpful for the group, so I'm going to throw it out there. One of the things that we have been doing and continue to do is when we have somebody who maybe like family members, we actually try to keep them on the same leg so that they help each other. Is that not recommended at all, or do people, I don't know. Is that an okay thing to do? Is that recommended? We're trying to keep the infighting at a minimum and help people, have people help each other.
No, we do recommend that. We do.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. So the thing is, if you already have a business that's running and now you're going to make a decision to drive the line, you have to think about that in the equation. So I wouldn't separate people that should be together just for the strategy. So if it can't be that way, you may want to put those people there knowing they need to go there, but then drive that other side if that's part. That's why you kind of want to look at the business and do what makes the most sense if you're going into this in the middle of your game.
But on top of that, like if your spouse is on one leg and then say your spouse's mom and dad want to come in, I would still, because you're treating the top center as both of you and your spouse's center as both of you. So your top center should still enroll the mom and dad of the spouse, and you can put those on the heavier leg, but then keep everybody else over there, because just being with your spouse, that's not a conflict because your spouse is not going to compete with his mom and dad for sponsorships.
Right. Okay.
All that.
Makes sense.
Awesome. Great question. Anybody else on that? Is that everybody super solid? Come on, no way. It's got to be. Everybody gets it? All right. All right.
We didn't get it the first time. It took us years.
We didn't-
It's still hard to wrap your head around sometimes because, you know, you think about when you have a new person and you're like, well, I could cycle like this many times. Why wouldn't I do that? And it's really hard to make that choice and just say, all right, well, I'm just going to build that heavier side and forego those little checks. But in the long run, it's just proven to work for us. So that's why we share it. Go ahead, Jody.
So sorry if you guys are watching me and I'm twitching all over the place, but I found a tick on me while we were doing the call and then I was like freaking out. And anyway, so I'm sorry if I'm making you twitch by watching me, but I have no choice. What I wanted to say was when I felt really comfortable with the compensation plan was when I had to teach it at the retreat. So that is definitely something I recommend, that even if you teach it to your dog, get yourself in a position where you're actually telling somebody else about the entire compensation plan, not just you share, they share, because that's when I really felt like I really understood it, was when I was going to teach it to somebody else.
Awesome.
And you did amazing, by the way.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just one other thing. Speaking of spouses that may or may not be engaged in the business and stuff like that, I was just thinking, you know, if you're like either a guy or a mom doing this by yourself, and you have a spouse looking over your shoulder, it'd be nice to actually show them the strategy and the reason why you're sitting on all this, and that there actually is a tremendous amount of activity happening in your business. It's just you're not capitalizing on it yet, because when you wait and you drive that line and then you switch over to the other side, things are just going to explode, and you have to explain that to them, because otherwise you're just going to think that you're either doing nothing or you're not making any money, or you know, and by showing them the strategy, maybe you're sort of saying, hey, you know, participate with me, see what we're doing, you
or
know,
at least just understand
Right.
the strategy, right? Yeah, it's a good point.
Excellent point, Jason. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Never mind the savings account that you're building up in the spouse's account. I mean, case in point, Sarah Ackerman has, I think, something like 40 cycles saved up in her husband's account. So as soon as she flips him, that's just bananas. So that's a huge deal right there. It's like a whole life insurance policy.
It really is. It really is. But that's a great point. The caveat to this is if someone can't survive, they need to cycle, and they're not getting there. You know, they're not able to afford their auto ship. That's the only time that we say, look, you get to make the decision. If you can hang on, great, and maybe we can make that money through the PIBs, which we know we can. But if someone is really strangled financially, then they may not choose to do it. But I would say if there's any way possible, let's get you those PIBs to make up for the cycles for now, because if you can sit tight, get to director, you will make more money than you can imagine right now, you know, in a couple weeks when you hit director, than cycling a couple $54 here and there. Renee, my team leg is my heavy leg. Can I just start working my pay leg? So are you already director? Where's Renee? Oh, I lost her face. No. So my suggestion is stay on that heavy leg. Don't switch. Get to director. Build that side. Okay. Focus on creating a consultant out of my husband. Or should we use enrollments? My heavy leg.
Flip your husband to consultant once you've already gotten to director. So on your team leg, you get 6 consultants. And I believe that's your right, Crystal. And then once you've got the 6 on your right, then you go and get your husband to consultant. Then you're at 7, and then you just need your 4 more down that left leg to get to executive. And while you're doing that, you're also earning those shares in the director.
Sense?
I have a stupid question.
Hey, go ahead, Dr. Kate.
So just talking about the director and driving the line, and I know that you need 6 for director and obviously 5 and 5 on each side for executive, but might it be wise to actually build 7 consultants on one side and then flip to the other side so that you don't lose director? Like, does it matter? Like,
yeah,
So,
it's a good idea. That's
you
why
could.
we say 6, but yeah, 7 is even stronger.
okay.
Yeah, a lot of people struggle with that. Like, people falling off. So, people who have done it are shaking their heads too, like, yeah, get that, insurance there. It depends on how fast you're moving. If you've got people lined up and they're ready to go on that other leg, then just bang it out. But always be, working with the people on both legs to convert them to consultants, always, just to get that extra insurance. At executive too, it sucks if you fall out. So you just got to keep building consultants no matter what.
Great question. Jody.
I just wanted to mention quickly, and I don't know if you guys want to talk more about this at all, but Josh, you mentioned that person who needs to cycle right away. And what I've noticed with my own team members who needed to cycle right away is the problem is that we weren't building depth for them. Like, we were trying to get people to share, but people weren't ready to share. And, we were so early into it that guess what? They're not getting their products paid for, even though they've enrolled 5, 6, 7 people, because not everybody stayed active. So really, if you can work with somebody to get them the PIBs to help pay for those products while they build that depth, that's what's going to make it for them for the long term. But the short term, every other, it doesn't work. It just doesn't, not for building actual residual income. That's just my personal experience with myself and with personal people as well, my enrollees.
So true. And I think most people will tell you that it's painful to do it that way. We're not in this business now at this point, showing up on these calls just to build slowly. Eric Worre tells you how painful it is. It is. We feel it, and it's fun, and there's energy and passion and vibration. When you're building fast, people feel it. People want to do what you're doing. They don't even know what it is, and they want it because of that speed. So 100%, Jody. Thank you for saying that. That's why, listen, the PIBs will pay those cycles. They'll pay more than those cycles. Work with your team, like Jody said. Let's get you paid. Let's not go bouncing back and forth. We're going to drive the line, and this is how we get those cycles paid for now. So you can survive this, so you can feed yourself, and you can, keep your minimums. But we'll do anything. We talk people out of, bouncing back and forth for that reason. Thank you, Jody.
So I have a question that sort of piggybacks with what Dr. Kate said. So if you're driving the line and you don't have your 6 consultants on for me, it's my left leg, would you consider just keeping and enrolling on your left?
Oh, yeah.
And just keep enroll. So you can enroll 30 people on your left-hand side. Obviously, the goal is not to have 30 people that don't hit consultant, but continue to enroll over there until you get your 6 people.
You got it, because you're showing your team. Every one of those people is being supported now, because if you're building and you're in the business, you're going to be focused on enrolling. Every time they enroll, they're being fed BV all the way down. So you're helping their business. Also, you're not diluting your game plan by going back and forth. You're going to keep it on that heavy leg and then bounce over once you hit director.
Okay.
Great
and I think so. Something I'm going to piggyback off of too, what Jody said. So if you think about it, like corporate America, right? You invest into a 401k plan, and you keep putting money in there where you're not allowed to touch it until you're 65. So if you think about your BV, like your cycles, it's your 401k plan. You're just adding money until later, then you'll take advantage of it, but concentrate on those PIBs and don't worry about the 401k until you hit 65 or you hit, executive or whatever. So
much quicker than turning 65.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
And that's
do it way before you turn 65.
Yeah, it's like in 2 weeks or 8 weeks,
right.
or 15 weeks or whatever it is. And that's the entrepreneur mindset. It's the big shift for people that are usually used to punching a clock and getting a paycheck versus this is your business. You are the CEO of your business, and hold tight, because if you do this the right way, you'll make more money than you could ever imagine. So I love that scenario, Anna. Any other questions before we jump into the second part?
I want to add on to driving that. Hold on, Jen, just 2 seconds. I want to add on to that, driving a line and keep going until you make the consultants you need. Josh and I will drive a line 40, 50, 60 people deep, and we could only get maybe 5 consultants out of it, just depending on where people are at. So until you've gotten all the consultants that you need, you don't swap your line until you've gotten where you need to go. And it could take 100 people before you get there, but usually not. Because, some people will just be product users, and that's great because those pay the bills too.
You love them. But don't bounce. That's the worst thing. If you think, well, how long is it going to, do not leave, because that shows, it changes the whole rhythm, and you're not actually applying the concept. So it's going to dilute what you're actually doing.
Stick to the same slot machine all night.
Who Jen had? Was that Gebby?
Gabby.
Gebby Bennett, where are you? Why can't I see her?
Hi.
There you are. Hey.
The dark Chase is supposed to be sleeping, but he's not. Chase, say hi.
Hi,
Hey,
Jen.
Chase.
Dad's gone, so he's on my phone. I just wanted to say that the strategy the Dunskys are sharing totally works. When I didn't know any better, they are, the reason why I was able to max out the executive pool back when I first started, which is crazy because I'm coming up on my 4 years. And then the other part is, for me, I was looking initially for the short-term money. So after I kind of did that initial push, and what they're saying as far as, driving the line and being able to max out in the pool because you're not, cycling as much. So the faster you get there, the better it is, the better it is for the pool reasons. And then, on top of that, when I started bouncing back and forth because I was looking for the quick money, as Josh keeps saying, it was slow and painful. And that was a slow year in my business. So when I adopted this strategy, it was, game changer for me. And this past year was my best year, and the year and the strategy that I followed.
Awesome. So
So,
cool.
yeah. So just listen to what they're saying.
Amen.
And Jen's proof.
Yeah.
Amen on that one.
All right. Who else? Any other comments before we go on here? All right. So let's get into the second part of the call tonight. And this is going to be quick. If there's one,
Are you sharing your screen?
nope. If there's one thing that we do that makes us the most amount of money in this business, and I think many of you will say the same thing, it's starting your people off right with that conversation. If you don't have a conversation with the people that want to make money in this business, many of them will leave when they have those tough days. Many of them won't understand it. Many of them won't have the expectations that you really need to give them. So I'm going to go over this really quick. There's a document in the file cabinet, detailed. It's called Starting Your People Off Right, or what is it called even?
The 8 steps?
No.
Starting your new people off right.
Yeah, I think it's in there. I'll post it again, or I'll find out the verbiage. But it's the verbiage when starting your new person off right away. Okay, and I'm going to go through the things that you got to talk to them about right away. So as soon as they enroll with you, they give you the information, and they've already indicated they want to make money. Right? You're not going to do this with a customer. Okay, you're going to do this with your business builder, and this is crucial. Number one. And I'm going to go kind of quick, so take notes, but also the document will be there. Number one, validate them for getting started. Congratulate them. It is a big deal. They took a chance on you. Make them feel proud, make them feel secure, and make them, let them know you're going to be here for them, that you're super excited that they took this step and invested in you. Number two, set proper expectations. And this is the thing that we are the worst at. Setting realistic expectations. If you succeed in this business, Jen, it's because of you. If you fail in this business, Jen, it's because of you. I'm here to introduce this opportunity to you and to help you and coach you and to do it with you if you're willing to be coached. We're very deliberate, very focused on that conversation. The respect level, the respect meter will go up tenfold that, oh my goodness, this is real. This is the real deal. Jen is the real thing. I'm going to listen to her. The goal is, so when we bring a new person on, the goal is that we make them independent as quickly as possible. And you say this, and I say, Jen, my goal here is to make you or have you become as independent as quickly as possible. And I ask them, is that a good goal for you? They want this independence. They want to have a thriving business. Number three, Jen, there's going to be some ups and downs in this business. You're going to have great days, phenomenal days where you're on top of the world, and you're going to have crappy, shitty days. This is a simple business, but it is not easy, okay? There's work to be done, but I will tell you, if you plug in, if you give me a year doing this and you do this with me, you're going to see what just happened. You're going to look back in 2 seconds, this year's going to go by, and you're going to have a completely different financial footprint, okay? You're not going to be at the end, but you're going to see what just happened over the course of this year if you plug in and you're coachable. You're not going to make 6 figures overnight. It's going to take some time. So what I want you to know, Jen, when you have a bad day, I need to know how I can help you, because everybody, the high 6 figures, the 7 figures in this business, they all have bad days, these wall kicking days. And I know when it's going to happen to you is because you're not going to show up on team calls. You're not going to return my phone calls. You're going to go into the witness protection program. You're not going to return anybody's texts or PMs. When this happens, do you want me to A, leave you alone? Or do you want me to remind you why you said yes in the first place? Why you said yes with those cute, 3 little cute faces on your couch, your kids. This is why you told me you need to do something different. As long as you tell me how I can help you, I will be there for you, because I have these bad days. And then the next day, the sun comes right up and off we go again. So as long as you tell your new person this, they don't leave when they have crappy days. If you don't tell them this, what do they think? You know, their cousin's fingers in their face saying, you idiot, I can't believe you did this. You didn't do one of those things. And you're not there to support them, and their team's not there, and they never heard they're going to have people in their face. They never heard they're going to have down days. They're gone. The attrition is going to go up, and we see this. That's why this, you know, going through this document or these questions or this conversation, I should say, with your new person is crucial. Number 4, Jen, it's going to take time to build this business. It's not overnight. And let me give you the 1-3-5-7 formula. I really want you to understand this formula. It's the 1-3-5-7 formula. Jen, it's going to take you 1 year to become competent and profitable. 1 year to become competent and profitable. It's going to take you 3 years to develop a full-time income if you're working diligent, persistent on a part-time effort. These numbers, by the way, this is 6 to 8 hours a week. There are people that exceeded the numbers that they ever thought was possible in 4 hours a week, but they made the most of those 4 hours. This is the average, you guys. So when I say 3 years to become full-time, there are people on this call that did it in far less. I'm just talking about the average. And Isagenix has a huge population of people that thought they're average, but when they put their goals and their mind to it, they realized this isn't average. They're utilizing an incredible platform. They're maximizing this platform.
And
So,
this is an average in the industry where Isagenix pays way, way, way better than most of the other companies out there.
sure. We have several people that have
All
hit.
of them, actually, not most, all of them.
Yeah,
They pay better.
several people that hit 90,000, 100,000 the first year. Is that going to happen for everybody? No. It depends on the work that you put in. But can it? Absolutely. More than that, too. 5 years, Jen. It's going to take you 5 years to develop a significant full-time income. How amazing is that? Who wouldn't work 10 years to have a significant full-time income that's residual, right? Go away for 2 months to Hawaii and you're still making that money. Stop working for 6. Now that's that you built a solid business, obviously, but that's residual. Takes 7 years to become world-class with expert skills. All right. So we got to understand that it takes about 10,000 hours to master anything. So 1-3-5-7. People overestimate what they're going to make in the first year. They overestimate and they grossly underestimate what they're going to make years 2, 3, 4. It takes some time to put the pieces together. That's where the compression comes in. If you don't let the compression happen, people are gone in 3 months. Well, I'm not making any money. It's 3 months. And, you know, my guy told me I just had to get in and I was going to make all this money. That's baloney. That's not this company. That's another company that has sold false expectations and garbage. We don't do that. We give people realistic expectations and they stay because it's real and there's integrity. Number 5, it's work. Jen, there's work here. It's not free money. It's hard work to grow and create something from scratch. And that's what you're doing, but you're not doing it by yourself. We are building a network. We're going to make a ton of mistakes. We have to learn how to outwork those mistakes and outlearn and learn that wisdom in order to get where you want to be. But I love your goals, my friend, that we went over, and we're going to get you there. But just understand it's hard work. Number 6, you're going to need to grow. The person you are today might not be enough to get you where you want to be in a year from now. All right? The size of the person is the size of the paycheck, so we need to learn. Network marketing is a very forgiving business, and that means you can grow as fast or as slow as you want. And we know that to be so, so true. Number 7, you're going to need to learn new skills. Follow-ups, closing people, promoting events, prospecting. It takes growth and skills, but we have a duplicatable system. You don't have to figure this out. It's all here. And that's why I'm going over this document with you again, because I forget about this document sometimes. Not anymore, though. Not recently. This is what we do with everybody, and it's proven itself. So most of the learning is in the doing. Number 8, it's going to take intense focus. You gave me 6 hours a week, Jen, that you said you're going to work. It's not going to the gym. It's not going to Pilates. It's not cooking. It's not Days of Our Lives. The 6 weeks, 6 hours a week, you told me, is Days of Our Lives even still on?
No.
I'm good. I think I just
I
dated
don't know.
myself.
I don't.
As the world turns, whatever
Nobody
you're into.
watches TV anymore.
6 hours. If you give me 6 hours, you're going to use it 6 hours. If you give me 4 hours, you're going to use it 4 hours. I'm not calling to check on you. This is for your business. You're accountable for yourself. But if you put in that work and you maximize the 4 hours a week, I promise you're going to have something very different at the end of the 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. So it's going to take critical focus. All right. And remember, the world is spending millions of dollars to distract you, to pull you away from your goals. The universe will distract you, your family, your friends. Still see them, still do some things, still have the hobbies, watch TV, but put it on your calendar. This is when I'm working. And here's another strategy, which I love. Stop being your own boss. You're really not your boss. Your why is your boss. If your why are your kids, when you say, you know what, I just got to put my feet up, or I'm going to actually go to the gym now, even though I was supposed to be prospecting for an hour. No, you don't be the boss anymore. Your kids, your why, your new life, your new home, getting out of that crummy job, whatever your why is, make that the boss, because you can't not show up for corporate America. You can't not show up if you will work for someone. You'll get fired. So understand, if you treat this as if your why is your boss, you have to do the things you said you're going to do. It's going to hold you accountable. And lastly, mental toughness, number 9. You got to get tough. It's not for the lighthearted. We know this. You're going to get more no's than ever before. But once you understand and learn how to pull yourself away from what the no means, it's not you. If you expose people the right way and you do this business the right way, no one ever says no to you. You'll never get that kind of no. You'll get people that aren't ready. You'll get people that don't understand. You'll get people that don't believe in themselves, but they're not saying, no, Jen, you're a quack. No, not if you expose them the right way. That's why we talk about how to expose people with tools. If your lips are moving, Eric Worre always says this, if your lips are moving, you better be pointing or sending a link. You never should explain what this program is, right? That's 10% of the time. That's called the direct approach. And we're not going to talk about that tonight. Most of the time, use a link, use a tool, a 3-way call. Your upline, your down, whoever is doing the 3-way call for you is your tool. You're going to validate them. There's a document in here how to do a proper 3-way call. Use those 3-way calls. But you got to get tough, Jen. It's for people with a backbone who want a different future and who are willing to do what is necessary to get the job done. It's not for people who want it easy. It's not for people who want to be enabled. That's the conversation. It's 15 minutes at most. But I promise you, when someone looks at you and they have this conviction in what I just told you, like I said, that respect needle is going to go through the roof. They're going to want this. They're like, oh my gosh, no one's ever talked to me like this. I love it. This is it. This is where I need to be. So that's the conversation. I think it's called, what we talked about, verbiage when starting your person off right. It's in the file cabinet. I'll check this as soon as the call is done. Does anybody have any thoughts about that before we wind down the call here? Open up your mics and just chat if you do. Dr. Kate has a question.
No.
Oh, no question.
She was answering something.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We already covered it.
Awesome. Any questions, concerns on anything we covered tonight? Does that all make sense? If you've used that document or that verbiage when you've enrolled somebody and your new people aren't using it, go over it with them. Just say, listen, I forgot to go over this with you. I apologize. It's never too late. I didn't do this with everybody in the business. When we started implementing this, we had to go back and say, listen, I didn't know this back then, or I forgot to go over this with you. Can you give me 15 minutes? I really want to go over this. They'll appreciate that. And they're going to start teaching their new people to do that. All right. Anything else? Faya. Yes. Ms. Visington. Yes. All right. Any housekeeping? What's going on next week? All right. Super Saturday.
Super Saturday in Needham, Mass. He's at like 9 a.m. Be there at 8.
Super Saturday,
Just
Needham.
Super Saturday in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, June 23rd. The following weekend, June 30th, July 1st, is our Dunsky Town Retreat, installment 4.
Oh.
And
yes, we have confirmation.
John Raines will
We're not going to tell you what he's training
Yeah.
on necessarily, but John Raines is going to be here training.
In Dunsky
He
Town.
is incredible as an understatement. So to know him is to love him.
Just come just to hang out with him.
He's
if you don't
awesome.
Want to come?
He's going to be here for us, which is pretty damn cool. So we have corporate that's going to be with us, hanging out, teaching. So please let us know. Confirm with us if you're coming.
Yeah, there's an event on Team Limitless. Put in if you're coming or not, and start thinking about bringing food, because we all sign up and bring awesome food. It's just as much of a smorgasbord food fest as it is a training. So, and then what else do we have coming up? Celebration in Nashville, August 4th through 8th. If you have not gotten your ticket yet, or you're on the fence, if you are a newly converted associate, you're going to get the $125 price, or $149. And if, say, you have a spouse's account that you can convert to associate, you can certainly buy a celebration ticket in there and transfer the ticket to yourself. New associate $149. Thanks, Jody. And there's lots of people going and doing it on a budget. So if you need somewhere to stay, if you want to carpool with someone, if they're going to be driving, reach out and ask around, because it's so important to go. It is an amazing investment. And we do realize that in the beginning, these are bigger investments than most people are prepared for, but we can really get the cost down by bunking up with people and, hitchhiking and stuff like that.
And I just want to capitalize on what Dr. Kate said. If you've already gotten to director and you're not eligible for the pools, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're an executive. Keep driving the line, because it's going to build that heavy leg. And then when you switch over, and it's going to help your people, it's going to put more volume in their pocketbook also, more money in their bank accounts, and create that power with them. So if you've already hit director, that doesn't matter. Keep doing it, and you'll see a difference in your business.
Awesome.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. Please, when we post this, as you've been doing so amazing with this, please comment on the video on Facebook. What anything you want to say about the call. It encourages your people to get on there, encourages people to watch it. Have them comment when they watch it. You'll know what your team's doing, who's doing that, who's not. The information is very valuable. A lot of people rewatch this because they can't be on the call. It just helps out tremendously. So, any last minute? You good?
One more shout out. Congratulations, Wendy Hyatt, for getting back to executive status. That's
all right,
awesome.
Wendy's
going for 3 stars. Everybody send her good
gonna
vibes.
do it. And again, to Jen Gebby and Bethany and all of you out there, we love you guys. I was going to say happy birthday. I don't know why I was going to say that. Happy birthday.
Somebody's birthday.
Rock it out this week, and we'll see you next week, 8:30, Monday nights.
See you Saturday, actually.
See you Saturday. Exactly. All right, guys.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.